This quarantine life is unproductive. I'm uninspired. I feel really discouraged. How are you guys doing? So during this COVID-19 pandemic, most of us have been working from home, and actually many of us feel really unproductive, uninspired. Instead of work, you eat and you sleep, and you eat and you sleep again, and it kind of becomes a cycle. Anyone agrees with me? And maybe you feel a little bit anxious because you don't know how far it would go, or even you are graduating this year and you are anxious about you can't find a job immediately after graduation. Or maybe you are feeling guilty because you are not as productive as others. This is all true. This is all the bad side of this pandemic. It has affected a lot of us. It has affected our normal life. It disrupts many things that we want to do. We can't do anything about it. But today, I'm actually sharing with you the 5 things that this quarantine allows me to do. So let's not focus on the bad things first. The first thing that I want to share with you is that quarantine allows me to learn how to invest. It really allows me to have time to understand how the stock market works. Probably if you are around the same age as me, you'll be curious about how the stock market works, and this will help us a lot in the long term. So this quarantine time has allowed me to have enough time to go online to search how to invest, what is a good way to invest my money, and how does the stock market work. I think all of us in our 20s should have learned these skills because investing will take a big part in our lives. When it comes to learn how to invest, I actually don't know much before, so I kind of searched online and to look at some YouTube channels who teach us how to invest. Like there are many, if you type in investment beginners or investing in stock market beginners, and there will have a lot of things showed up. There are actually a lot of good channels who talks about how to invest, and I also have the chance to go to Yahoo Finance or to go to Google News to look at many different companies that I am not familiar with. And of course, I'm not like asking anyone to invest into like a company that you don't know about. And of course, this is like actual money, and you should know the company before you invest into them, because of the fact that we have such long time that we are staying at home, and we can invest this time to learn much more things that we haven't learned before. So this is one of them for me. So after talking about investing money, I want to talk about the second thing that quarantine allows me to do, which is to invest time for myself. It is really important, and it is really hard to do during our normal life. If you are working 9 to 5, after you work, you will be really tired, or you will don't want to think about anything. You will not have any time. You just want to go sleep or go find friends or eat or whatever things. We don't have enough time to do everything, to do any investment for ourselves. But because of this quarantine time, it has been a long time that we stayed at home, and we actually have much more free time compared to normal busy life. I am able to invest in myself by reading books. So I'm not a person who loves reading because I feel like reading is kind of boring and it takes a long time. For example, if I'm reading a fiction, I could have used those time to actually watch a video online to learn about that fiction. And watching videos take much shorter time because you absorb those materials much quicker. Like there are many ways for us to absorb one material instead of reading. And the most importantly, reading is pretty boring for me. But during this quarantine time, I actually figured that reading is kind of enjoyable when it comes to self-healing. And this quarantine time has changed me because I've actually have much more time than before. It happened really incidentally where I just grabbed my iPad and I figured I can download Kindle on my iPad, and I go onto Amazon, and I don't even know that, like, because reading is not my thing. So I just go to Amazon, and then I figured there are something called Prime Read. It's my first time that I use that program. So for some of you out there who is like me, don't know what Prime Read is, if you have Amazon Prime, there are a tons of books that's free online on Amazon that you can read. It is really a transition for me. I think the most important thing for everyone is that you have to pick the right book. When I come to this age of my life, I actually encounter many times where I felt lost, or I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm stuck with my work or something, and I hope to have someone to tell me how to resume my normal life and to give me some advice. I would go read a book. Find a book that can help me to my self-healing process. I think the most thing that I learned from reading is that it allows you to have time to be really calm and to really think through what you're facing in life. This is really important. It's like doing a reflection for yourself, actually. Become a better me. My point is, you have to pick the right book for yourself, to pick a right book that you will enjoy in, because it is really like a mentor who are talking to you to guide you how to fix your problem in life. I just feel like don't focus on all the bad sides of this pandemic, because it is not something that we can control. And the most important thing that living through this pandemic is the mindset. If you always focus on these bad things, then you will never feel good about anything. So if you have time right now, just focus on the things that you can do. It is way better than thinking about all those bad stuff. So the third thing that quarantines allowed me to do is actually to connect with friends and family. Although we cannot go out anytime sooner, I got to have a lot of time during this quarantine, and I'm able to connect with my loved ones. No matter through phones or FaceTime or Skype, whatever ways that you can think of, it's really a good time for you to connect. To a point, I feel like life is really vulnerable. We don't really have control over it. We don't know what happened next. If you have time, just call your family and to tell them how you feel, and to enjoy the moments that you have to share. Maybe what you have learned during this quarantine time. If your loved ones or your family is always your supporting system behind you, and if you feel really discouraged or if you feel really frustrated right now, it is the time, it is the perfect time for you to connect with them, to tell them how you feel, to let them help you, to let them talk to you. And I guess this would really help for our mental health, for everything. So yeah, just do it right now. Talk to them, like let them know how you feel. So the fourth thing that quarantine allowed me to do is letting me invest time on cooking. During this quarantine time, I actually got to have much more time than before to learn how to cook. So for me, I'm not really like good at cooking, but I really love eating food, and it is really satisfying for me. There's one recipe that I want to share with everyone, is banana bread. I will insert a clip on this, and it is actually really easy. You just need a bowl to mix everything together. You don't even need a mixer. Put it in the oven for like 10-20 minutes, and then it will be done. Actually, the end result is really good, and it is actually my first time making banana bread. Although it is kind of funny because it should be like banana bread and it should be like a bread shape, you know? But we actually use an egg tart mold. It ends up looks like a banana muffin, but it's fine, you know? As long as it's good, it tastes good, and everything's fine. I'm gonna put the recipe down below, so really go try it, because it is a really easy recipe that everyone can do, I believe. So I would say if you didn't invest any time in cooking or baking during this quarantine time, you should do it, and you should let your loved ones try what you have made too. So the last thing that quarantine allows me to do is actually to do something that I love. For me, it has been a long time that I don't really know what I really love to do. I just feel like lost in myself. When I say love, I don't mean things like I love watching YouTube, I love playing video games. So what I really mean is, in your life, what are the things that are really meaningful to you? So it is like a true purpose in your life. And seriously, since graduation, I don't know what I really love to do. There's no something that really makes me happy. It has been a long time, like it has been full 2 years that I don't know what I should do. But because of this quarantine time, and it has taught me so much, and I have invested time for me and myself and my family, I kind of start knowing where I want to go. And this is really the most important thing for me, and that's why I started a YouTube channel. And there are actually many things in life you don't know you loved it before you actually try it. Filming and editing videos is one of them for me, and it really encouraged me to have my own channel, to find my own purpose. I really hope that with my tiny little human power, I hope to gather a group of people that only share positivity around us. And especially during this time where everyone's at home and feeling stressed or frustrated about life, I'm sure that if you think everything in a good perspective and to invest time in yourself, everything is solvable. If you are really stressed about it and you stay at home every day, you don't know what to do, and it's just gonna be a cycle. It is really bad for your mental health. Or during this pandemic, you can actually use the spare time that you have to invest into yourself, to think about your future, to get ready for any opportunities that come out after this pandemic's gone. Although we can only stay home, there's actually a lot of things that you can really do, especially in this technology world where you can do everything online. You don't necessarily have to focus on the bad things that's around you. Instead, you can focus on the good. So why would you enter that bad cycle, which is bad for your mental health, which is bad for yourself? And why don't we focus on positivity, to learn something, to learn a new language maybe, to learn something that you haven't had chance to learn. Focus on the good stuff. It actually can make you a better person, and you might even find growth out of it. And that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to join this positive community, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Let me know how you feel during this quarantine time. I will see you next time in my next video. Thank you. Bye. It has already been 1.5 months. It has already been 1.5